Welcome to Talks with Sheba, the place where real people give real answers on issues plaguing our community today. Hi, I'm your host, Dr. Sheba Holly. Thanks for joining us on this marvelous Monday. We aim to invite, excite, educate, and empower. So let's talk. Let's talk about poetically inking. Yes. Do you know who you are? Where you're going? Who loves you? Do you know what love is? Kimby Miller, we're about to find out from her what love is.
Miller.
How y'all doing?
Woo!
This poem is entitled Love. The love you seek is not here. I can't offer inner peace to you. It's not mine to give. I'm not your savior. Your prayers don't come to me. I am not your everything, for that would make you nothing. I can't create a receptacle of hope and implant it in you. I can cultivate it, but I can't initiate it. Perfuming my ears with lustful words is not love. Joy does not start and end on my lips. Happiness is not affixed to living in doses, and I cannot be your drug dealer. No one can sustain that. Love starts within, but you can't dip into that hollow shell and scrape love out. You've been listening to wrong so long, when right is quoted, you don't even recognize it. This union is supposed to be between two that become one. Love can't be drained. It needs to flow. That vessel of love was empty before I picked it up. You thought a ring would solve this? Jury does not penetrate the soul. The echo you hear reverberating is from your emptiness. Your inner prison has convicted you. Love only needs one companion to exist, you. But you want me to resuscitate it, breathing love back into your flesh, absorbing it like it was air. Love me without extending your legs. You are more than the sum of your parts. I know your life picture was not painted with perfect strokes, but you are the one I want, but not like this. I am not so consumed by you that I don't get you. This transfusion ends today. You're standing right in front of me, yet I miss you. You can't find every answer from your heart and my soul. You are not my shadow. Why don't you insist on being a picture of a painting, of a drawing, of a reflection of you? Step back and see what stands before you. True love, with her hand open, waiting for you to grab it.
Woo, that's deep. That's deep.
Thank you.
Kim B. Miller, welcome.
Thank you.
I'm so happy to have you here.
Happy to be here.
You're a poetess,
Yes.
a parent advocate.
Yes.
So you have your book, Poetically Inking. What is that about? What's going on?
Well, the subject matter in the book covers, as you've read it, so it covers so many different topics. And I just decided to get 30 poems and 30 haikus and 20 chemisms together, and of course there's more. I've written more. And I put those together, and I just wanted people to get an idea of what I speak.
What you speak.
Yes.
So before we get into all that, who is Kim?
Well, Kim is multifaceted and multi-talented. And I don't say that to be conceited. I say that because my father gave it to me.
There you go.
Okay. And the blessings he's bestowed upon me, I'm very grateful for. One is writing, one is poetry, parent advocate, speaking to people, and translating truth into a way that people can understand it.
Okay. And how did you get started?
Well, I've been writing since high school. I've always written, and it's just one of those things I've enjoyed doing. And as far as poetry, I've always written poetry. I didn't get serious about it until a few years ago. I decided to, actually get serious and write a book, and not just write the book, but just write. And when I started writing and going performing, I said it's time to get serious.
Yeah, it's time to get serious. So, but when you were just dabbling in it, did you have any role models or some? Did you see someone doing this, or what did you have to guide you?
Actually, I didn't watch too much poetry, and people are normally shocked when I say that, what, you didn't watch a lot of poetry? Because I wanted my own identity. I didn't want to take anybody else's.
Got it.
So, and sometimes I see poets do that, and I say, well, if I don't listen to too many, whatever I come up with will be authentic.
Right.
So mainly it was just listening to scripture, because I think scripture has a lot of poetry in it.
Definitely.
And that's what I used.
Wow, that's interesting. Because I always wanted to sing and wanted my own voice. So I don't know what happened. I guess I was trying to sound like everybody else, right? That is too much. So what is the purpose of your platform?
Well, one, the purpose is to be heard, because I think that's really important, and poets need to get their point across, whatever that is, whatever your calling is to speak on, you should speak on it. I speak on several subjects, and a lot of it is parenting, because I've worked with parents before, and I'm working with parents now, and I think that's an important platform. And when people hear something that's not perfect in parenting, they can identify with that. They understand it. They're like, okay, I'm not perfect either, and here's another way that maybe you can get on the right path.
Okay. So I call it Kim, her pen, and the mic. When I say that, I just picture you getting ready to spit some rhymes. Are you ever a rapper?
No. For people ask, no. But I love the poetry, and I love spitting. I love getting in front of people and crowds and stuff. Yes, love it. Definitely.
So your variety show, where's that? Where do you have that show?
Well, that one is in D.C. I've been part of the variety show, Busboys and Poets. I just finished my birthday feature at Wednesday's Verses at Bohemian Caverns. Beautiful location, fantastic host, Lorna. And I've featured at Spirits and Lyrics, another great location, Silent Treatment, great family. So many locations. And Thursday coming up, I will be at Third Eye. So
okay. Where's Third Eye?
Third Eye is in Baltimore.
Okay,
It's in Baltimore at a great I can't even think of the name of it. Soul Emergence Art Factory, I think it's called, and that's in Baltimore. So, and in Harlem, of course, I do that once a month at the end of the month. There's a show in Harlem.
Oh my gosh!
Yes, the last Sunday of the month. I go up to the National Black Theater in Harlem, and we perform show there. I do poetry and sometimes some acting.
You're acting?
Trying.
Wow. So, what do you... Tell me more about that. I had no idea.
Well, that show, we do poetry, of course. There's different parts where I actually go and do poetry. And this time we're doing adaptation of The Wiz, and I'll be one of the witches.
Can we hear something?
I'll be one of the witches from the north. So I'm the cold one, so I'll be talking to Santa, and I'll be straightening him out.
Wow. So you got your poetry thing, you got the variety show, that venue, Busboys and Poets. How did you literally break into becoming this poet? Because you said you didn't really take it seriously until recently. So
because I was like, you had the calling, and I said I didn't take it serious because I had the calling and I ignored it. And I'm not the only poet out there who has done it. And I was like, shame on all of us. I've done it too. And people be like, what? Yes, I have, and I have to admit that. So I decided to actually take it seriously, and I went to Spoken Word Poetry Tuesday, and that was, and to Kazabi. And I started out slow, and I just got up, and I just did it, and it worked out well.
And how did your first time feel?
It felt really strange because I practice because, poets practice, but I didn't really practice a style, so I just got up, and whatever style came up, that was my style.
You're kidding?
No, I didn't say, okay, Kim, you're going to be dramatic, you're going to be into it, you're going to be, I didn't, no.
You didn't plan it?
No.
Interesting. Okay. So could you recite some poems for us?
Of course. Definitely. Well, since it's history time, I figured I would do the one I did on history.
Awesome.
And also, I just wrote a haiku based on Martin, so I figured I'd start off with that.
Happy Martin Luther King Day.
That's definitely honor to the great man. And this haiku, for those you don't know, haiku is a very short poem, 3 lines, 5 syllables, 7 syllables, and 5 syllables. Got to make your point and make it quick. And this one is, okay, I'm trying to remember that. I'll probably say it a little bit off, but this is the gist of it.
Okay.
I dreamed that Martin had more than one speech. Are you awake?
Wow.
And I wrote that because everybody quotes the I have a dream speech like he'd made no other one.
And you said you dreamed that he made more than one speech.
Exactly. I'm like, people, you made several.
That's funny.
And this one is called His Story.
Okay.
History is pigmented. Black history has a label, a title that segregates us yet again. Our history is not black. Our contributions are not black, but we are. We are one of the many trees standing in the forest of life. Mm-hmm. If you only focus on the color of the tree, then you miss the beauty of the forest. So many men stood like those trees, steadfast and unmovable. Some are quick to quote Martin, and rightfully so, but this forest has more than one prominent tree. Don't just look at the trees that society points to. Overlooked trees still have so much relevance. Daniel Hale was the physician who performed the first known open heart surgery. Frederick Jones designed and patented portable air conditioning cars. Louis Lattimore is one of the essential inventors of all time. He worked with Edison. Matthew Henson was an explorer best known for the discovery of the North Pole. Mark Dean's IT work led to the development of the color computer monitor. The forest has more prominent trees waiting to be acknowledged. We need to know what we've accomplished to continue on the path that was carved out. Don't wait for the world to point to a tree that's inches away from your face. Knowledge is not buried with our ancestors. Learn the facts. Teach another brother or sister so they can prosper. You are trees from the same forest. Each one should teach one. Make the ground stable so your brother's able to accomplish goals to the seed that's implanted in him. So many stumble, but trees don't move when another tree falls. They hold each other up. Once we realize the king wasn't the only king, we can encourage the young princes. Don't just quote the I have a dream speech without giving them a path to achieve their dreams. A dream becomes a goal when they can see themselves achieving it. Daniel Hale didn't wait for someone to approve his hospital. He opened it. Mark Dean didn't let black and white limit his vision. He built a color monitor. Greatness does not wait for acceptance. They create it. They planted themselves and made the ground fertile. They stand looking for us, their descendants, hoping the leaves that fall will not rest on the ground unnoticed. This forest is full of beautiful trees being ignored. Don't be a drive-by through history. Get out and look at the forgotten trees, their forgotten accomplishments, our forgotten history. It's not his story, it's our story. Know it, live it, respect it.
You heard it first. His story.
Yes.
That was deep.
Thank you.
That type of poem, I mean, you had a lot of history in there.
Mm-hmm.
So that takes research and knowing what's going on. That's important.
Yeah, and I think that's very important for poets, because if you're going to speak about history, you have to put some facts in history. And when you're doing poetry, you can also teach people.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the knowledge, they might have known that there was a black surgeon who opened up a hospital and all that, and then they can take that knowledge and research it and know that there were kings before a king.
There were kings before king, and there's a lot more kings and queens to come. After these messages, the poetry of parenting.
Are you or someone you know suffering from stress, anxiety, or depression? Have you experienced feelings of frustration due to lack of family and/or career support? Let's talk. Relationship issues got you down? Get the help you need. Contact Dr. Sheba Holly, mental health advisor and life coach. at clarity.fm/Dr. Sheba Holly. That's DrShebaHolly. If confidentiality, comfort, and convenience is important to you, guidance is provided on your terms. You deserve peace of mind. Contact Dr. Sheba Holly, Mental Health Advisor and Life Coach, at clarity.fm/Dr. Sheba Holly. That's DrShebaHolly. Get answers now. Make your appointment today. Let's talk. Clarity.fm/Dr. Sheba Holly. That's DrShebaHolly.
If you've just tuned in, we're here with Kim B. Miller, Poetically Inking, and we're talking about the poetry and parenting. Now, you have a platform that speaks on parenting. Why?
Well, I was divorced several years ago. My first marriage ended in divorce, and I wrote a book about it because there were so many mothers out there who were tempted, and not just tempted, some actually did it, unfortunately, to keep kids from their father because they were upset or angry how the relationship ended. And I realized when the fathers spoke about it, women were like, oh, you don't know, you just talking your own point of view and you just saying something that benefits you. So I said, okay, I'm going to have to address this platform because when it's another woman addressing women, they tend to be a little bit more open to discussing it.
Right.
So that's how it started.
But you don't just speak on the behalf of women, you speak also on the behalf of the men.
Exactly. Because right is right, and I think it's, if I can get someone just to hear that other side, sometimes it's just a matter of hearing it to realize how far off the path they've gotten. And if they can hear it and recognize themselves, then they at least are open to hearing a little bit more.
So, your marriage, how did that go?
Well, the first one, not so well, unfortunately. A lot of cheating going on. And finally I said, enough is enough. And I think that's one of the important things that people have to realize when your relationship ends, even if you weren't married.
Right.
And this is one of the few times when someone may have hurt you, because sometimes we doing the hurting, ladies, let's be honest. We the ones, men ain't the only ones cheating. So,
they're getting caught.
Exactly. Who they
I'm
cheating
just
with.
saying.
I'm just, anyway. So that it didn't end well, but we have to see that sometimes when we're hurt, because sometimes whether we were the hurter or the hurtee, it's one of the few times where you are hurt that you necessarily have to see the person the next day. You can say, this marriage is over, it's been 10 years, but if you have kids, tomorrow they need to see daddy, or tomorrow they need to see mommy.
Right.
So you have to find a way to work through your hurt so you can still parent. And that's a unique situation, and I want women and men to realize, I get that that's a unique situation, but it's one you still have to deal with because your kids are the ones that are going to benefit the most from you two co-parenting.
Definitely. Well, you have a poem entitled My Ex.
Yes.
We need to hear this.
How y'all doing? We were talking about love earlier, and I am in love.
All right.
But this ain't a poem about me. This is a poem about my ex.
Oh boy, here we go.
So it ain't lovely. I have moments polarizing pictures waiting to be developed. Fake smiles hiding broken relationships. Once the thread from my heart to my head connected, I saw truth. So tell me, what you think I want to hear? Lies disguised as truth, disguised as love? I know you have a pre-rehearsed story. I don't have to smell crack to notice his presence. Why is it this time? You didn't have a chance to say sorry, you didn't have a chance to be sorry.
Come on, Dad.
You think stupid inviting friends over to make me stupid? Thinking is an ingredient I decide to have with every meal. So I no longer drink ignorance pee and call it lemonade. No more sheepskin glasses. I'm speaking clearly, but I'm not being heard. I will not be Mrs. Side Action. Find your strength in truth instead of that arrogance liquor you drinking. Let's tell the truth.
That liquor didn't make you liquor. Find your strength and truth instead of that arrogance liquor you drinking. Let's be honest. That liquor didn't make you liquor. Love is not a flavor you can replenish on my lips after you planted your seed in other soil. You say this relationship is floating on waters like unsinkable sand. But this is love overboard because your pole is always in the water trying to catch new fish. I'm fighting for us, but I'm the only one in the ring. Where are your gloves? I get it now. When you said I was too strong for you, what you were really saying was you were too weak for me. I heard you say sorry more than I heard you say I love you. I have a life to live, and it doesn't include you. So you and the other pigeons can move out the way. There's an eagle trying to soar here.
All right.
Now find you another nest to rest in, because this nest is closed.
Okay, so that was about your ex.
Yes. That's right. Don't get back. Right with the pen.
And you know, it's funny because you said, what didn't make you lick her?
Yeah. Find your
Liquor didn't make you lick her.
right.
That was funny. And then she said, rewind.
Everybody likes that line.
That's hilarious. It sticks.
Yeah, it does.
So one of my favorite in your book is Side Piece.
Yes.
Can you read that
I
for
sure
us? Because it's like, I want the ladies out there and the guys too
Right.
to listen because it applies to both. This is serious stuff. Think about this. This is food for thought right here.
Side piece. You think my clay was made for you to mold. My body's yours to command. I told myself you were the one to heal my wounded soul. You want to heal with just a kiss and strengthen with just a glance. I don't want to expose my eyes to the light. The dream is more beautiful than when my eyes are open. Truth bleeding out with every blink, completely envying lies. Mountain climbing for the wrong cause, sipping lust through a straw. Words so strong he got me lyrically licking my lips. Spiritual awareness looking for affection, one step away from an epiphany. Love slaughtered so I can bask in lust. Keeping me suppressed, he can pump it, but he can't pump it. He can't touch me without touching me. He is lost without his hands, and I am lost without his touch. His existence enabling mine, awareness coherent in between blinks of ecstasy. Blurred lines leading me back to my flesh, while stagnant air chokes my soul. Questions lingering on my tongue. My heart echoing emptiness, while someone else's man lies in my bed. He's who I want right now. 20 years later, the right has faded, the now has stayed. Betrayal served nightly, dignity dripping away with every drop of sweat. Beautifying scraps while the main course is served elsewhere. Dodging truth like bullets, telling myself I am his world. Unless ass is a hemisphere, I am not it. I am not a mistress. I'm a 20-year afterthought, scheduled at his convenience.
If ass is a hemisphere,
Yes.
the main course is being served across town.
Time to get real, people.
Do you know how that would make you feel if you knew that was what it was, your situation?
And I think because, as I talked to the Lord, I said one time, I said, do you want me to do only religious poems? And he said no. And basically it was like, some people need the soft shoe and other people need a hammer. So you went to church and the preacher preached and he said, adultery is bad and blah, 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 blah.
That's the soft shoe.
Right, that's the soft shoe. Now, I'm telling you, your 20-year afterthought served at his convenience.
Convenience. Who wants to be someone's convenience?
Right. And really, that's what it is. We can call it Mistress. We make nice names for it. Notice there's no name for a man.
Ooh.
Just
I
saying.
think I from what I understand, they're called side pieces also.
Right, but that's just recent. Think back. Was there a side piece back in the day? That's a new term.
Oh, yeah.
So there's always a name for us, but seldom a name for a man.
So he was like, you know how to pump it, but you don't know how to pump it.
Because,
Nice play of words.
People get stuck on what people can do in bed, and your heart muscles need work too. And if you're just worried about bed, your lifelong love is not going to be staying in bed.
Right. Got to go to work.
Sorry. Sorry.
But again, whether you're married, you're in a relationship, that just speaks volumes.
Right. And it's not made to make anybody feel bad. It's made to make you, if you're in that situation, think about how much time have you spent, because some people have been there 20 years on the side.
Woo!
And you've given up 20 years of your life to be on the side, but you could be somebody's main. You don't need to be on the side of anything unless you choose to be. And then you have to ask yourself, why are you making that choice? Why do you think so little of yourself that you think you need to be on the side as opposed to the main?
Oh, that's horrible. Just the thought, 20 years.
Right.
That's a lifetime. That's sending kids off to college.
Exactly.
That's a 20-year anniversary.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And you wasted time or belief saying, well, this is the one. And actually, I have a haiku, I think, that I'll tie into that. I did.
Okay.
Just to be clear, Christ will never send you to be with someone else's spouse. Because I've seen that online. Well, the Lord put us together. No. Your thighs put you together.
It's more like the ankles because the thighs are apart.
Oh, that's true. Right. Technically, you're correct.
Technically.
And I ask people, that goes with that, is your heart beating or is your heart being beat?
Beat. It's being beat. Who wants to be number two?
Right.
I mean, you could do two for deuces, but you don't want to
Right.
be number two.
Right. And why do you think so little of yourself that you're willing to settle for number two?
And when you're number two, you know what babies call number two?
Exactly.
Some ish. It's some ish. So, I mean, you have another book, How to Love Your Kids More Than You Hate That Man.
Yes, indeed.
Whoa.
Yes.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I had to make the title kind of clear,
Yeah, yeah. Because a lot of times, sadly enough, women get angry.
Right.
And then they start seeing the man and the children,
Right.
and there's just a whole, I don't want to feed them. They look like him. I don't
Right.
want to feed him.
I'm going to fix him by holding the kids back, and because he loves the kids, so I'm going to fix him. Well, you're also fixing the kids, and I tell people all the time, you can't teach hate and limit its use. Once you teach hate, it can be used on you.
So how is that book broken down, just to let everyone know?
It starts off with my story and it's a very short guide, and I made it a guide for a reason, and I didn't put any fluff in it, and I wanted it to be small, so when people looked at it, they could say, this is something I could read, because when you're going through pain, and you're in the middle of a situation, nobody wants to be handled an encyclopedia and said, this will help you.
Read this.
Yeah, once you read it, you're gonna, even if it's helpful, you're just gonna go, it looks overwhelming.
Right.
So I made sure I took all the fluff. There's no pictures. There's no nothing. It's just a short guide that gets to the point. And the first part starts off with my story for a reason. Because if you don't tell your story, people go like, she doesn't know. She's just saying that. She hasn't been through the hurt. She doesn't know my story. And no, I don't know your story. But the reason I put my story in is so you can see that I did go through some hurt. And I did have to adjust the same issues that you're going to have to. But I still had to decide to side with my children over my own pain. And that's what the book is about. It starts with my story, and it talks about the different things that women do, the different ways they act, and how some people pretend like they're not doing it, and they are.
Oh, please break it down for them. And I wish I had the book in front of me. Bad host. Bad host.
No problem.
But that's the part, the different types of people that they are, that women can be.
Yes.
That they either know they're doing it or they're not aware of it. But could you just like break those different characteristics?
So you have the woman who actually basically knows she's not doing it. and she's unapologetic about it. And she's just like, well, he hurt me, I'm going to hurt him back. Now, that doesn't make it right, but that's a category. Then you have the ones who are actually convinced themselves that they're not doing it. Oh, he didn't show up on time. Well, he didn't. You said to be there at 10, and at 9:50 you're racing to the car, and then you tell the kids, well, if Daddy loved you, he'd be here. But Daddy was at the house and you weren't there. So you have that. You have the ones who can debate with you on the fact that what he did wrong was so horrendous that he deserves this. And I'm like, none of us are, can be that judge, jury, and execution. And one major point I made in the book was, if you, mom, were the one cheating, would you still have the right to see your children? I don't think you'd want that question brought up. I don't think you want to sit in court and have the father sitting there going, you don't deserve to see your children because you cheated. Cheating is not enough to take a parent's right away from them. No, it does break up families. Yes, I get that. I've been there. I've been cheated on. Yes, I know it's devastating, but that's not the end all to decide if that person is a good parent or a bad parent. They made bad choices, but it doesn't mean they're a bad parent.
And what about what did you say, the innocent one? The one that acts like they don't know?
Right. I mean, you would walk in front of them and they would have you convinced that this is just, really, no, oh, he called? Yeah, you turned the ringer off. I turned the ringer off?
Did I do that?
I didn't turn the ringer off. The phone must be broken. It's the phone.
Vindictive.
Right.
That's what that is.
Or there's an accident, a legitimate accident, a major accident on a highway. That's why he's late. Well, he should have been here. Well, since he can't fly, how is he supposed to get here to see his children?
Right.
The fact that he's sitting in traffic for 4 hours and still willing to come shows that he's a devoted father, at least trying to make attempts to see his child.
Right.
What about that? But no. Well, he wasn't here, so, cut off.
When I read that, it was like, whoa, I know people like this. I've seen them before.
As have I, unfortunately. And I've seen the ones who, well, he's not paying, so he shouldn't see his child. And don't get me wrong, I think both parents should contribute to their child's upbringing, well-being, all that.
Right.
But money in and of itself. Now, if he's quitting jobs or she's quitting jobs, because it depends on who has guardianship, then it gets trifling, and I can understand you questioning whether or not they should see the child. But I will tell you this: the child does not understand why they can't see their father or mother based on money. Right. They don't get that. They just know that they're being left out because of themselves. They find a way to blame themselves. So they're not going to blame money. They're not going to blame mom yet until they get old enough to realize that she's part of the problem. They're going to blame themselves. Daddy didn't think I was enough, or mommy didn't think I was worth enough. So instead of you getting a point across that daddy's not worth it, really what you told them is they're not worth it. And that's what they live with. And that's what they grow up with. And when I used to go out, and I still go out and have these conversations with adults, and I have book fairs and stuff, there was always one adult, and I say this, and I emphasize that for people who think their children are currently over it because they did it back in the day and they never addressed it, who was in the back crying. I've never done one that hasn't been an adult in a room crying. So don't think because you did this 20 years ago that it's settled. It's not settled.
Wow. And you think, oh, well, they don't know.
Right.
Everything that's done in the dark comes to light.
Every single time.
Every time.
And sometimes the light brings a different perspective than what you were trying to give. So it's best for you to go now and speak to that child, even if they're 20, 30, 40 years old, and say, I made a mistake. I was wrong. I kept you from your father. I've known fathers who have been fighting to get to their children who unfortunately have died trying. Literally. So they died, and now their children are not stuck because the mother they still have a custodial parent, but they're stuck with the mother still telling them how horrible the father was, how he didn't care, and they will never know that father cared and died trying.
And you know what's weird? I'm divorced also. I haven't remarried yet. I still believe in love and marriage. I do. But I didn't want to talk about my children's father. I didn't want to say anything negative because I felt like if they're a piece of crap,
Right.
They will figure it out.
I agree with that.
It's like they'll show you their colors
Thank you.
on their own because they're a creature of habit. If they change, then that's maybe something they can bring up, like
Exactly.
back in the day, I used to do this and man, it wasn't right. And I kind of ruined us and that's on them.
Exactly. And that's how I did the same thing. I'm like, your father loves you. He cares about you. And there wasn't times, and if you've read the book, there's times he went off the path, but I didn't speak about him negatively. I spoke about his behavior negatively. Daddy didn't do things correctly, but, he's your father, so we're going to give him that benefit of the doubt. He's your dad.
And they're looking at you. And those children, because they're really, really
Yes.
smart, they start looking at you like, what's wrong with them? If someone does
Exactly.
something wrong to us on the playground, we're coming for them.
Exactly.
So you have to show that Christian side, that
Right.
godly side of you. Like, this is the right thing to do. Even sometimes inside, you're like, man,
I know.
this is crazy. So you do parenting classes.
Yes, I will be facilitating a parenting class in Prince William County. It's a STEP program for parents for early age. I think it's 6 through 12, and it'll start in spring and summer for Prince William, Virginia.
Okay. And that's like the Woodbridge
Yes,
area.
Right.
Dumfries.
right, exactly.
Okay. And what happens in these classes?
These classes, there's a STEP program that Prince William has come up with, and we'll be following their guidelines and things of that nature to facilitate parenting, give people tidbits that will help them hopefully get better parenting skills down.
Okay, so it's all about parenting skills. Is this something funded through Head Start or?
No, Prince William County.
Oh, just the county? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, and tell us about your parenting publication that you're featured in.
Well, I've done a couple of websites and things I'm featured in. Actually did a parenting magazine that I was featured in. And I still enjoy that. And I'm on a divorce website also.
Are you?
Yes. Because, it's, how we can get when we get divorced. We get spiteful. Not saying you, but, there's somebody out there.
Somebody
out there. So I've done publications on different websites for people to hopefully give the other person, because it's not always the woman, but since the courts tend to side custodial with women, the book is geared toward getting women to recognize that's an issue for us to work with.
Okay.
Because unfortunately, there's so many horror stories out there. A lot.
Yeah, there are. Well, up next, Kim-isms. Yes, the girl got her own isms. After these messages.
Are you or someone you know suffering from stress, anxiety, or depression? Have you experienced feelings of frustration due to lack of family and/or career support? Let's talk. Relationship issues got you down? Get the help you need. Contact Dr. Sheba Holly, mental health advisor and life coach, at clarity.fm/Dr. Sheba Holly. That's DrShebaHolly. If confidentiality, comfort, and convenience is important to you, guidance is provided on your terms. You deserve peace of mind. Contact Dr. Sheba Holly, mental health advisor and life coach, at clarity.fm/Dr. Sheba Holly. That's DrShebaHolly. Get answers now. Make your appointment today. Let's talk. Clarity.fm/Dr. Sheba Holly. That's DrShebaHolly.
And we're back. I'm your host, Dr. Sheba Holly. You are on with Talks with Sheba, and we have Kim B. Miller. Kim has her own isms, okay? Let's hit us with the Kim-isms.
Okay, now the purpose of Kim-isms is just condensing my words into like a soundbite, so to speak. So here's a few of them. If nothing changed in 2015, you need to change in 2016.
Okay?
If love is all you want, why is sex all you accept? Don't look around to see who's watching. Haters will look smaller in your rearview mirror.
I like that. Be like,
Ooh, that's right. See ya.
mm-hmm.
Another one. God has a broom, but you keep running back to the garbage he's sweeping up.
Okay. That's male, female,
Yes.
cat, dog.
Yes.
I mean, that applies.
That's universal.
Yes, ma'am.
We all do it. Lord, help me. Okay, I got it. Oh, wait.
Let me go
Wait.
back. I want to make
Right.
sure I need help with this.
Exactly. Or get him out of my life. Oh, let me give him a call. She better go. I wonder what she's doing. Let me text her.
Yeah. Midnight text.
Right.
Oh, and it's funny. You say, get him out of my life. A lot of times when your girls say, get him out of...
Yes.
They been 24 hours, Lord.
Exactly.
I mean, like, 24.
That's right. I
If
took
you-
a break. I fasted. Okay, and did you do what the fast said? Well, no, I just fast.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah.
Ooh. Wow.
Another one.
Okay.
The devil may try to test you, but Jesus has all the answers.
Here you go.
Let's see another one. Dogs and cats don't care if we're Asian, Black, Latino. Maybe we're the animals.
Wow.
Just a thought.
Just a thought. Well, you have some more isms,
Yes.
transformations, haikus. Let's hit this clip. Let's not.
That's the thing about live TV. We will keep going.
And going.
And going. That's right.
I was smiling too hard.
I'm like, okay. I'm going to blink. Okay, we'll go back to another chemism because, I
Okay.
have 5,000 of them. Dreams don't need cosigners.
Mm-hmm.
Do you, be you, for you.
I like that. There's one about men in power or women. Which one?
You like the haiku, the strong women?
Oh, hold
Yes,
it. Wait,
yes.
hold it.
Okay.
Just hold that.
Okay.
But as far as your chemisms go, it's like, what made you think of having your own isms?
Well, I started a while back writing these, and I'm like, I have to call these something. And I'm like, truthism, yawn. Kism, yawn. I didn't like that.
Kisms.
I didn't like those either.
Kisms?
Yeah, kisms. I'm like, that sounds like
Kizzy.
Exactly. I'm like, roots. Guta. No, I'm like, so I'm like, chemism. I'm like, I'm like, okay, I like the sound of that. And I just wanted some way to round it into a title so when I called it something, people would know it's from me. So that's
Okay.
basically what it was. But
Okay. Well, we're ready for that clip now with the chemisms, the haikus, the transformations. We're going to hit that right now.
Liquor, needles, or pills. Pain will wait for you.
Haiku!
Some of us would go to a KKK rally if the food was free.
Wow. Wow. Done.com.
Haiku!
If someone tells you get back in your lane, tell them this is my highway. All right, I'm going to do this poem called Transformers. Yes. Really? We are stepping and fetching for trappings, not promises. Molded blackness projected at every turn. Don't want to be labeled. The loud one, the proud one, the militant one, the big behind one, the articulate one. Black ain't just one shade, but we've lowered ourselves. We moved to the valley. We can't see the forest because all the trees are brown. Let's look through this black crystal ball and see the other view. Empire is a show instead of something you build for yourself. Roots means your hair color needs a touch-up, not your family history. Lift every voice and sing is unknown, but lift every skirt and twerk is seen daily. You don't miss an episode of Scandal, but you can't make it to one parent-teacher conference.
What? That's definitely a rewind.
You don't miss an episode of Scandal, but you can't make it to one parent-teacher conference. You have 4 DUIs, but liquor ain't your problem, cops are.
Look out.
We got 99 problems, and music is one. We sing I'm happy while fighting back tears. We are peacocks more worried about strutting than flying. We teach our sons to pick up a ball, but not a pen. Our daughters are taught looking good is more important than being good. Our kids stand in line for $400 Jordans, but can't point to Jordan on a map.
Woo! Deep.
Rewind.
Deep. Yes. Pull up.
Our kids stand in line for $400 Jordans, but can't point to Jordan on a map.
Oh.
Our black and white Bible sits unused, but we know all 50 shades of gray.
Oh.
We make sure we have a 50-inch TV, but not a dime in our 401k. We tell our kids don't smoke, but we send them to the store to buy us cigarettes. We are walking billboards for designers that don't care about us, but won't support an artist sitting 2 feet away.
Woo! Rewind.
We are walking billboards for designers that don't care about us, but we won't support an artist sitting 2 feet away.
Ooh, you know what to do. Now, you were in Harlem.
Yes.
Okay.
That was a sugar bar, Ashford and Simpson's Sugar Bar in Harlem.
I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Solid.
Yes. Solid as a rock. Ooh, nothing can change. That's why I don't sing, okay? I'm not a singer. Well, I mean, that was awesome.
Thank you.
You know, and I love when they say haiku.
Yeah.
That's why I go to baseball games, because they're so interactive, and definitely your audience is interactive.
Yes.
So what's next for you? I mean, like you said, you're in Harlem, you're here, you have a couple of things going on. Could you just let us know,
Sure.
one, what's next for you and how everyone out there could get your titles?
Definitely. What is next is Thursday. I will be at Third Eye in Baltimore at the Soulful Art Emergence Gallery. I said it was wrong the other day, but it's in Baltimore. It's a gallery, and it'll be about I believe the doors open at 7:00, and after that I will be in Harlem on the last Sunday of the month, the 31st, I believe it is. I will be at the National Black Theater in Harlem, and I'll be part of a production called Bridges, and we'll be doing poetry as well as doing some acting. After that, I will be featuring at other places, but I'm working out some of that, so I will leave that for my website, which you can find all my information, which is www.kimbmiller.com. Really simple. I try to make it so that people can, actually, jot it down and remember it, as opposed to Kim _ to the B.
Oh, don't get me started with that.
Exactly.
It's like, it's what?
Exactly.
Ugh.
I like kimbmiller.com. Simple.
Simple. And are your books on that website?
Yes, you can find my books there, which is the first one is Poetically Inkling, just me, my pen, and the mic. That's my spoken word poetry book. How to Love Your Kids More Than You Hate That Man. That's my parenting book.
That's funny.
Everybody laughs at that title. Also, I'm working on a spiritual spoken word poetry book, and also a Christian book too that will be coming soon in the future.
So that's what you do.
Yes, I love writing.
You love writing.
Yes.
Wow, it's just been great having you here. Do you have anything else you can give us? Some haikus that we didn't hear?
Sure, definitely. I always got some more haikus now.
Okay, let's
All right.
haiku it up. Like
Let's
turn up.
All
We're going to
right.
haiku it up.
Haiku.
Okay.
If you think sex is all you're good for, sex is all you'll be called for.
Booty call.
Exactly. Haiku. Companionship is not a solution to pain. Don't give love a job.
Ooh.
Black women are not to be played with. If you want a toy, go buy one.
That's black women, Asian women,
Exactly.
Caucasian.
Just that, you know. I vote
All
for us.
y'all.
Exactly.
All us.
Exactly. Haiku. Strong women are not unbreakable. We just know you ain't the hammer.
Ooh, I like that.
Yes. Strong men don't need you to make them relevant. God already did that.
Check.
Exactly.
Mate.
Because, you know, the women are like, always so, oh, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, it goes both ways.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is just a preference. Don't email me. Don't call me. You can't holler at me if your pants are tighter than mine. Step off, bruh.
Wow.
I'm just.
Wow.
And this one is based on the recent Paris terrorist attacks and the things in Kenya. There was an argument online. Who do you pray for? Who you don't pray for? So I came up with this haiku.
Okay.
If you only pray for your allies, you're creating new enemies.
It's true.
Yes.
And they always will tell you, pray for your enemies.
Right. Another one. For all you rappers out there, this is for you.
Trapping.
That's right. Don't make it rain at a strip club. Make it rain at a homeless shelter.
Ooh. Pop bottles of water
Exactly. And bring some food.
and fruit.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Exactly. Milkshakes may bring boys to the yard, but real men are gonna want food.
What if it's like a NutriBullet?
Still not healthy enough.
It needs meat.
Exactly.
Wow. That was absolutely
Thank you.
wonderful. I
Thank
love
you.
your poems. I love what you're doing with the parents, and you're sitting up here, you're checking men, you're checking women, you're
Yes.
just checking it all.
Yeah, as people have said, if you've never heard me before, I get on everybody.
Yes.
I get on everybody. Nobody's immune, nobody's left out, and it's because we all need it. We all need that truth to get to the next level.
Right.
If no one ever tells you, you never get there.
You never get there. You know, and it's like, I'd rather you tell me the truth and hurt my feelings than keep lying to me.
And I say truth only hurts if you have never accepted it.
Right. Right.
Because then it's something you're already dealing with. But if someone comes up to you and you're overweight, and then someone goes, "You're fat," and you go, "How dare you?
outta here.
How dare you?"
For
But
real?
I'm not fat. I'm pleasingly whatever. You know, we got so many phrases for that now. But if you haven't accepted the fact that you're overweight and someone says that, it hurts your feeling. If you've already accepted it, you're like, oh, yeah,
Okay. Yeah. Well,
Right.
you know, I can lose weight.
exactly. Not to mention, I don't need you to, F411 me.
Yes.
You know.
Let's find out what's wrong with you.
Exactly.
Let's figure that out.
Exactly.
What? No, you figure it out. I don't have time.
Like a friend of mine posted recently, she was out someplace and someone thought she was sleeping with someone, and they said, who are you sleeping with? And I said, tell them next time they ask you, tell them you're sleeping with 4 people. Me, myself, and I, and on occasion, mind your business stops by.
But that's a rude question
Right,
anyway.
exactly. So you should be expecting a rude response. Or a real one.
Yeah, who you sleeping? Who you sleeping with? I
Exactly.
got sheets,
Exactly.
Pillow.
Exactly. List is in left there. You can
comforter,
Exactly.
and remote control. Because sometimes it be on the side.
Exactly.
For real. Be like,
Exactly. Or lost, and you're like
under the pillow.
Right, exactly. You and pillow hooking up on the side.
Okay, exactly. Oh my gosh, I love her. This is Kim B. Miller, the poetess, the parent advocate. You have to go get her books because they're just enlightening. They are real. They are real isms. Kim isms are real isms.
Truth.
Well, it's a wrap for us tonight. Thank you for joining us on this marvelous Monday.
Yes.
Please tune in.
Talks with Sheba. Be empowered.